Oh man. This is the point of a build where you either go full steam ahead or you done listed your project up on Facebook Marketplace. Need more coffee and full steam ahead. So if you plan on doing this, I suggest you take a lot of measurements. Let me show you what I did. So this is the firewall, your shock towers, the front radiator support area. These dots represent bolt holes, and these dots just represent a position that I've marked on a flat spot, as well as the firewall. I've labeled each spot a different letter, and then I've just measured. For example, from K to B, you can see up here K to B is 39 3/8. And I did that to try to get as much data to where when I go to put this back on the car, reach out to a buddy who has a Datsun. Shout out to Brian at Block Garage, officially crushing his Datsun build. If you hadn't checked out his channel, check it out. But yeah, I used my measurements and referenced his measurements. This brace will only get me back to what I currently have. It appears in this corner over here that this has been re-welded at some point. The weld quality just doesn't look up to par. This side looks like it was hammered and beat at some point. Those aren't factory welds. And then the same over here, Bondo or either seam sealer, I'm not sure. But again, that don't look like a factory weld. And those definitely don't look like a factory weld. So I think at some point, maybe the front of the car was in a little fender bender. So this brace doesn't mean this is gonna get me back to exactly what I need. This brace will get me close, and I may have to tweak to get my measurements as perfect as they can be, if that makes sense. So now what I'm gonna do is take this brace off because I don't need it in my way. Once I go to bolt everything back up, if need be, I can bolt this back in place. But I wanted at least some sort of reference to where I started, see what's underneath all this mess. The plasma cutter that I'm using in this video was sent over to me by Arc Captain. It is their Cut 55 Pro. It's a dual voltage, 120 or 240. Comes with the adapter. It's got a pilot arc. Super lightweight, super clean cuts. I'll be doing a full video of this on my channel soon. Huge shout out to Arc Captain. So what I gotta do next is get in here and all this excess of radiator support very carefully with a side grinder or a flat disc. We're gonna have to grind this material away, and we gotta do the same thing over here. This whole piece comes up, splits, and it has a piece right here. And try not to damage what's behind it. All right, so I've been out here for probably at least 30-40 minutes just drinking coffee, looking at these frame rails, trying to plot out exactly my order of operations. And here's what I've come up with. Before I can put the radiator support in here and this lower brace, I need to fix the frame rails, because that's what it's going to sit in and cap those frame rails in place. That square right here caps in that frame rail. Same on the other side. And then the lower brace basically caps over all that. Now, the frame rails in here is trash. the frame rail is trash. This frame rail is trash. Up in here it was rusted, pitted. So what I'm thinking is, if you guys have been watching the channel for any length of time, you know I rebuilt the frame rails that tie into the floor pans with 1/8 inch plate going back. So what I'm gonna do on this side is I'm not gonna go back there and replace this. I am going to go about 1 inch in front of this brace and cut and replace this top, side, bottom, everything. Over here, I am going to go about 1 inch in front of that brace, come up, across, and over. That will get rid of this pitted, rusted section. Back there is solid. A little spot here they use Bondo on, and there's a little wrinkle right there in the bottom. Back here is straight. So from here forward, all this will be getting replaced. If you were replacing this on your own Datsun and you used the factory floor pans and you got this kit along with the other frame rails, you could basically drill out all your spot welds and do it like a factory style repair. Since I have did custom fabrication on the firewall and back, I'm not gonna tear all that out. I'm going to basically graft into the front, and yeah, she will be good as new. I won't have to worry about what's inside these frame rails. I'll know it's all good. You can tell it's bad by the way that it is. Okay. Just barely going into this first layer of metal. Do not go into the second layer of metal. And I'm cutting them out. Little by little. We'll get this whole section right here completely gone. Frame rails and this lower brace is mocked up in place. What I got to do now is take everything apart, welding these two pieces I made for up here, weld through primer on the backs of what will be hidden, punch some holes, and we can start welding some of this in. If you're doing sheet metal repair or anything that involves drilling a bunch of holes around the edge of sheet metal, you have got to get one of these air punch holes using air pressure. It's a lifesaver. I mean, if I had to drill all these, it would take me a lot of time. And right here, watch this. Not sure how long that was, but drilling that out would have took forever. So do yourself a favor and get one of these from Harbor Freight. Not sponsored, should be, yeah. All right, so I'm out here working on the Datsun early again. It is like 4:43 right now, but I got out of here about 4:20. There's no way around what I'm about to have to do. Some of you might think it's unnecessary. I don't. The frame rails are gonna be new. So what I'm trying to get at is these sections over here. I've tried hammering and dollying them to get them as straight as possible. If you can see here, There's rust right there. There's a rust hole here. There's bowing in multiple spots. This spot here is cooked. I mean, this is obviously toast. These two holes here are where the fender bolts to this, but those holes are unnecessary. You got a little pinhole. Not sure if you can see it. It's really small, but I'm sure if I go in here and wire wheel, there's going to be more damage. And then on the back side, all this is pitted, so it's compromised metal. Over here on this side, these two holes are for the fender. Those other holes are unnecessary. This is pitted. It's junk. So yeah, what I'm gonna have to do is build, rather than trying to cut out a square and patch certain spots, I'm gonna pick a line, maybe right behind this, and go straight up and build this new with the rolled piece that I need here. So we'll have new metal here. We'll have our roll that matches the contour of this radiator support on both sides. I am gonna leave this inner brace. These 3 bolts right here are for your hood hinges. So I'm gonna leave them, and I'm gonna have to make some templates. Trust me, I thought long and hard on this. The past 15 minutes, I've just been looking and contemplating different ways I could do it. And yeah, I feel like I would have less of chance of warpage if I make a piece that welds right here and I have one weld seam versus patching out multiple squares. A square has how many sides? 4 sides. So that's 4 chances of warpage versus just one weld seam having new. So yeah, I don't think it's unnecessary. I don't want to feel like I hacked it after having all these new parts. I want to feel like I have a good peace of mind about it. So yeah, that's the route I'm going. Hope you guys understand. Let's do it. As you can see, I use this wood as a form, so to speak. I gotta hurry up because I gotta get ready for work. Moment of truth. see what it looks like. Okay. Right here I added a little bit because at some point, I can't remember if it was when I put the rotisserie up here, I trimmed a little bit of this off, I think, accidentally. So yeah, we got that added back. And this will get bent over here to do our little whoop-de-woo. So it didn't need a lip on it. Now we just got to do it on this side. And I got to go get ready for work. Catch you guys in a little bit.
The next day.
All right, so what we need to do now is use the jig that I made and tip this edge over so it'll have a lip around the edge. For this side, we will use the power of YouTube magic. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and check it out. I still got a little fine tuning to do on it, but I think it worked pretty friggin' awesome. We'll fine tune that edge, but see all this and so this has been a delicate procedure. I did use the Cut 55 Pro. So I did use the Cut 55 Pro Arc Captain Plasma Cutter. Chill, bro! That's Nutsy the squirrel dropping, yeah. Got it! All these are from him. Those are on the roof. Yeah, I did use the Arc Captain 55 Cut Pro to pop out the holes quickly, and then use a little bit bigger drill bit to try. I'm going to lose my mind on this squirrel with a little bit of buckshot. So yeah, this was a tedious process to try to not mess this up. Wow. Whoo! If I seem excited, it's because I am, man. Woo! I hope y'all can feel this through the camera. This has been a lot of work. If it was just this piece, it would have been easy. Just Old one out, new one in, but it had all this damage back here. But yeah, check this out. Everything is just loosely fitted up with Clecos, and man, I should have been using them things all along. I do have a clamp and a clamp and a clamp and a clamp. Just getting this in here loosely. But look at the fit up. Look at the fit up right here on this wall that I'm gonna have. This right here I left long. Maybe you guys were wondering in the video why. I wanted to have enough, and I will bend that and shape it. It'll get plug welded to this, and it'll get plug welded to the inside here. Understatement, I'm super thrilled with the fitment. These old ones that was back here, I mean, can you imagine trying to patch that up with like a square over here and a patch over here, and it's just junk. So this car has taught me a lot of lessons. One is, if you try to take the short cut out, it will bite you in the butt. So I debated, trust me, I debated on just trying to fill those holes and making it work. And I went this route, making the jig, bending those up, getting my lip around it. I mean, I am super, 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 super thrilled. So let this be evidence. Don't try to shortcut stuff. I have done that in the past. It never works. It never works. But this is one instance right here. I am thrilled. Like I said, you probably can't even stick a playing card in there in that gap. This is in line. Same thing over here. Off the sheet I started with, and Brian from Block Garage, shout out to him. He gave me some measurements from an actual straight Z-car. I get this kind of in place, then I'll tear everything back off. We got to do some weld through primer and just backtrack. Take the Clecos, everything off, pop some holes in here, and yeah, do all the stuff. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this video. If you are, smash that like button. Smash the like button for this crap, because I'm stoked. Let's keep it moving. So as you saw, I did weld through primer on every spot that was going to be hidden. The sides are now welded in and capped on the outer side of the frame rails. Now I can pull my Clecos, move this radiator support, plug my 2 holes, and keep on moving from there. Woo! Like that. Been out here since 6 this morning. It is 5:53. I've left the garage basically twice. But where are we at right here in the project? I have filled in those 2 pieces. These are welded in. And I've welded in the front side and back side. But I didn't go absolutely crazy because this will get stripped and it'll get Raptor liner under here. But I mean, the seams are nice. See where this is plugged in. And then I went ahead and set my brace back in place to see if I kept the width, because did a lot of welding these side pieces on. Want to make sure I didn't warp it. I did them a little at a time. And as you can see, sitting in there perfect. Now, the moment of truth. I've got all the holes punched in the radiator support. It is now time to put it in place. Also got the holes here in this lower brace ready to weld in as well. And yeah, so for those of you who just need to replace your radiator support, beginning of the video, cut it out, and then you would skip forward to this step. So hello, if you're just here to weld your radiator support in, that's where we're about to get to now. Getting it in place, checking our measurements one more time before we burn this thing in. And to say I'm excited is an understatement. I mean, these patches came out nice. The contour of these came out awesome. So yeah, we'll get that in, get it clamped in. Yeah. .42 inches. It's dead on it. I want you guys to see this. These are the measurements that I got from Block Garage. Measured from shock tower, a specific bolt hole, all the way over here. 42 on the dot. Can y'all see that? 42. See if you can see that. 42 on the dot. Shout out again to Brian at Block Garage. If you haven't checked out his channel, check it out. He's doing a Z build of his own. He has absolutely crushed rust repair on his, and he's doing a 2J Z swap, turboed, lots of custom stuff. So check out his channel. Again, thank you, Brian, for the measurements. Is on the money. If we want to check one more time. This brace was bolted in tightly and welded, and it still fits perfect. So, I guess without further ado, it's time to start melting her in. All right, if you made it to the end of this video and you actually watched the whole thing, you are a trooper. Big thanks to Ressurected Classics. This saved me a ton of time. If I'd have tried to make the components that I needed here on top of what I already had to make behind here. But yeah, everything is welded in, and I mean spot welded. Every gap in there. And I even went back and just started to clean up some of the plug welds that I did. It is late. And yeah, this brace is, again, what I bolted in the car to begin with to make sure the width didn't really change. And it is unclamped. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is a huge weight off my shoulders. Man, this was a chunk of the car that was jacked up. My face, I'm probably dirty as crap. This video is probably like an hour long. I'm gonna just go ahead and guesstimate it. Probably like an hour long. Next video coming out on the Datsun, we will see if the fenders and the hood line up, maybe even bolt the hood up just to see. Yeah, according to all the measurements, should be good. Thank you guys again for the support. This was like 3 weekends back to back to back trying to work on this when I can. So I will probably take a week off from the Datsun and put out a video that I already got ready on my F100 truck. But yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.